So today I'm going to show you guys how to do these nails. They're really pretty and they fade in from red to orange to yellow. So let's go on with the tutorial. Now after you've applied a base coat, I used oily bonder. And once it's dried, you're going to apply any sort of peachy red kind of color, and not a hot pink one, just a peach color. And this one is Nicole by OPI, and it's called The Right Thing. So you apply this and then you let it dry. Once you're done and then this is dried, on any random sponge like this, you are going to take a corner like this one right here and add the color that we're going to fade in with, and I'm using orange. And so you add it just to the little area like that. And then just take a lot and add it here. And just on the corner, just as wide as the biggest finger of your hand. And just add a lot of it, because it absorbs it. So, okay, just like that. And then onto your nail, about half of the nail, you're gonna press it down, and just lightly, and then just fade it up like that, and then just pat it out like that. And then if it doesn't have to be perfect, because we are going to add glitter over it like these ones, so just like that, half or less, half or a little bit, like half or a little bit more than half is good, because then we're going to take yellow, and actually while it's still wet, while the orange is still wet, we're going to take yellow. Now I'm taking 2 yellows. I'm going to be using Petites in Solar Yellow, number 516, and then I'm going to be using Santee in color number M95 in the color yellow. So you do it again in a separate place, because orange is a very overpowering color. So open your nail polishes, after you shake them of course, and then in another area you're going to add the yellow. It can be right next to it, it doesn't have to be specific like this. And you'll just add the color there. The first couple times it won't absorb it as easily, and it'll just stay on the top, and then you should use a test piece. And then I'm putting this yellow over it, because the Santee's is a very pale yellow, and this one is more pale, very transparent yellow. So this one's a little thicker, and it has gold, like glitter pigments, and it's more gold. So when you put them together, it looks like it's gold. Then again, on your sponge, you take your finger, and it can still be wet, and you gotta run it over a couple times, because the yellow is a harder color to add on, since it is lighter than the orange. So you're gonna do it again, and you add some yellow to the sponge. And if you notice to your sponge, if you're doing it while the orange is still wet, there'll be a little bit of orange on there, so it helps blend it nicely. And then you also are going to add your Santee color, and just any yellow or orange will do. You don't have to use the exact ones I'm using. It'll give you the same results if you use a different one too. And then you just pat it out, just so that it looks patted. And that's what it looks like, and it's okay if it gets on the edge of your finger. And now you wait for this to dry, and once it's completely dry, because you want the colors to smear together, but not smear so much that you can't tell and they all look like one color. So the way I did it, I let the red dry, and then I added the orange, and then I let it dry a little, not completely, and since it's only a really light amount of it, it dries fast. Then you add the yellow and it'll dry even faster. Then you're adding your glitter, and this one is the Shine On Crazy Diamonds by Orly, and I added one of these to it because it didn't have enough glitter in it for me, and so I added one of these but in the white color. So yeah, these are pretty cool, and they're filled with glitter, and I put it in there, and it just gives it so when I add one coat it'll look like this. This is only one coat. You can add 2 coats. I'm thinking I'm going to add 2 coats because no, I think 1 coat is good. So that's what they look like once you're done. So this is what the finished product looks like, and I hope you guys